So on the adopt. Well, that's what I read. I told her, but they were thinking of reading it back. So clarify that.
I'll say. When it gets hot, yeah, it's this thing, I start coughing.
Mics are on. 1 second.
Hello. All right. Thank you all for making it out, and thank you for joining us on this regular meeting of the Madera City Council. It is now 6 p.m. and we'll call this meeting to order. Couple of house cleaning rules here is that we want to make sure that everybody has enough space. So if some of you may want to watch this through live stream, we do have the other room open so that everyone can make sure that we're able to walk through as well. But we will give ample time for a public comment when that comes. For now, then I'll ask our Madam Clerk to please take roll.
Mayor Pro Tem, the live stream has malfunctioned in the lobby, so there's no TV access in the lobby area.
Yes, what I meant is if you have access to your phones and you want to see live stream, you can do that as well. Thank you for clarifying that, Madam Clerk. Can we please take roll?
1 moment. It appears we have some audio issues on Zoom. Oh, never mind. We're good. We're good to go.
Okay.
The Madera City Council meetings are open to the public. This meeting will also be available for public viewing and participation through Zoom. Members of the public may also observe the live stream meeting on the city's website at www.madera.gov/live. Members of the public may comment on agenda items at the meeting or remotely through an electronic meeting via phone by dialing 669-900-6833. Enter ID 860-3070-0504 hashtag. Press star 9 to raise your hand press star 9 to raise your hand to comment and star 6 to unmute yourself to speak. Comments will also be accepted via email at citycouncilpubliccomment@madera.gov or by regular mail at 205 West 4th Street, Madera, California, 93637. We would like to remind the public that Wordly is available and can translate this meeting into different languages by accessing Wordly. You can scan the QR code on the agenda. It is also available at the entrance of the City Council chambers.
Thank you again, Madam Clerk. Just to clarify, I am the acting mayor today. Our current mayor is out absent on an illness, but I'll be presiding over that meeting. I always wanted to do this, so I'll do it again. Yes. There you go. All right. Before we get going with our invocation, I did want to take this moment. Before we proceed, I would like to take a moment to recognize and honor the life and service of Herman Perez, former mayor and council member of the city of Madera. Herman dedicated his time and energy to serving our community with integrity and commitment, leaving a lasting impact on the city he loved. On behalf of this body, we extend our deepest condolences to his family and loved ones during this difficult time. What I am going to ask is after the invocation and flag salute that we reserve or observe a moment of silence for Mr. Perez. So with that, we'll now do our invocation presented by Sammy Neely from Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church.
We need to do the call to order, Mayor.
Did I not call to order? Well, wait, what's going on? Madam Clerk, please call to order, please.
Mayor Gallegos? Absent. Mayor Pro Tem Rodriguez.
Here.
Councilmember Zachariah.
Here.
Councilmember Montes.
Here.
Councilmember Evans.
Here.
Councilmember Mejia.
Here.
Councilmember Villegas.
Here. Okay, looks like we're all here. So Mr. Neely, can you please make the invocation?
Let us bow our heads. Our most heavenly Father, we just come thanking you, Lord, for this blessed day. Thank you for what you have done in our lives, for what you are doing and what you will do, Lord. We ask you, Lord, that you touch the city council, Lord, touch the meeting, Lord. Open up their hearts and their minds, Lord, so they can be led by what you want, Lord. I ask you, Lord, to touch our city, Lord. Continue to guide us, Lord, to guide the spiritual leaders, guide the preachers, guide the pastors, Lord. Guide the churches, Lord, to be able to lead the city, Lord. All this I ask in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I'll ask, please remain standing. I'll ask, Councilmember Montes to please lead us on the pledge.
Ready? Salute. I pledge allegiance
of the one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now I'll ask that we reserve this moment of silence for Mr. Perez. Right, thank you. It looks like we do have Councilwoman Evans.
I was just going to say, we do have a few seats right here in the front if someone would like to come down. We have 3 seats. I know they're priceless right now, but
Well, we're gonna do a lottery, so if you guys come on down, we do have 3 other seats here, and matter of fact, we maybe have to pull out some chairs back here if we have to, but are we out of the chairs? So if anyone would like to sit up front, please come on down. We do have 3 chairs.
don't everybody run at once.
Okay. All right. So again, thank you again for reserving that moment. Again, Mr. Herman Perez dedicated a lot of his life also for community service, public service. I just wanted to make sure he did serve here as mayor from 1994 to 1995, but served in the council for 2 terms. So again, our condolences go out to his family. He was part of the Moores Board. I think there's a room at the Esperanza Village that has his name as a dedication to him. As a nonprofit arm for the Housing Authority, he was very instrumental in helping us acquiring not only housing and public housing, but also this Esperanza Village was part of that initial effort. So thank you again, and our condolences go out to the Perez family. That being said, we'll now go on to approval of the agenda. Do we have any items on the agenda that need to be removed?
Through the council.
Yes.
If staff is requesting to continue item A1 to the regular meeting of December 3rd at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll make note of that. Again, I'm asking for a motion to approve the agenda, removing item A1 for the December 3rd meeting.
Motion to approve the agenda removing A1.
Second.
And that is to continue it to December.
To continue.
yes.
Thank you. City Attorney, again, with that, we do have a motion from Councilmember Evans. And we have a second from Councilmember Villegas. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Thank you again. We'll move on to presentations. Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, thank you. And just one quick announcement. We did turn on the television in the conference room, so there are oh, it's not streaming. Okay. We'll move on to presentations.
All right.
Proclamations recognizing Small Business Saturday. Back
Oh,
over to you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, thank you. With that, we do have some recognitions here. I'll go ahead and pull these up. First one that we're going to pull up is this is for small business, Sabora, Oaxaca, and we'll have our council member, esteemed council member Mejia, go out and present this. I'll stand with you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. If I can please have Nicole step forward to receive the proclamation for Sabora, Oaxaca. Nicole? Mhm. Venegas. Okay. Muchas felicidades.
Gracias, gracias. Muchas gracias.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, si se pueden esperar para la. Um, I about Sabor a Oaxaca, if not everybody knows, but Sabor a Oaxaca is a restaurant that's on Yosemite Avenue. I had the pleasure of tasting its food long before it became an establishment. I was a university student and I would look for on Madera Inform for food that kind of tasted like home. So I'm very happy to see what has Nicole transformed it to, from selling tlayudas from home to now it being a brick and mortar along our main avenue, Yosemite Avenue, and also a mobile cart. So I'm just, to me, Nicole's story symbolizes resiliency, hard work, and it's a product of Madera and what makes us all a town of that's full of people that are very hardworking. I'm just very proud to be able to present this to Nicole. So thank you. Y si quiere decir unas palabras. Sí puede.
Sí, buenas tardes, mi nombre es Nicole. Pues más que nada les agradezco por este certificado que me eligieron y pues empecé vender comida de mi casa como 2 meses y de allí pues me salió la oportunidad del restaurante que está en la Yosemite y de ahí empecé en el 2019 y ahorita sigo en pie y pues muchas gracias a todos y si gustan, los invito ahí en el restaurante cuando gusten. Y ahí estamos, el 131 East Yosemite. Gracias.
Nicole, vamos a pedirte que te esperes. Vamos a tomar una foto con el consejo. Permite un momento. Hay algunos más que van a venir aquí adelante también. So just like Nicole had said, she invites you all to her restaurant. I'd love to have you guys there. She started with hard work. This council is committed on always celebrating small businesses in Madera. And just like Nicole in Sabor a Oaxaca, we really appreciate that. So up next, we have Sanchez Brothers Tires, and that's being presented by our council member, Stephen Montes.
Yeah, if we can get the Sanchez bros to come up. So I've known these gentlemen for many years. Full disclosure, they used to beat me up. No, I've known them since they were like kids. I was a much younger man. And in boxing gym. They were very dedicated. So Jesus and Hugo, I used to call them Jesus and Juice. And but they had a lot of people in the gym didn't want to spar them. Yeah. Didn't want to fight them because they were good. And I'm sure they still are good. But I think they took that dedication, seeing them as very young men, growing up in the city of Madera, staying out of trouble, and then now becoming business owners, taking that same dedication into their business. And that's why I wanted to nominate them as, recognition for Small Business Saturday. And they're what keeps Madera going, right? Small businesses are what keep Madera. So thank you for beating me up when I was a young man and for continuing to serve Madera. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. Hopefully, everybody has a good evening. Just want to thank. I just want to thank God, and I want to thank my family, and of course, I want to thank Steve for nominating us. And I have a little gift for you. And just you're. Yeah. No. That's like right now a little bit nervous, just the same way when we started the business in 2022. It's been 3 years. Thanks to God, always thank God for it. And it's always, my mind is always work hard, and always, thank the city of Madera for giving us the opportunity to give the privilege to help the people out from Madera and giving them service with the tires. And that's all. I know my brother Hugo wants to talk.
Same thing, we like to thank God. You guys are giving us the motivation to keep on going further. Hopefully soon we start another business helping you guys out as well. And more than anything, thank you to Madera. They saw us grow. Yeah.
As I start presenting these, we have several more. We just want to make sure that we get a photo in with you. Especially you are the two that beat up Councilmember Montes. Well, so, okay, well, he didn't know this, I was gonna do this, but I bought some gloves for a sparring. Thank you again. Appreciate the business. Up next, I'm sorry, we have a referee? Someone- we do have, the next, small business that we have is La Estrella Small Business, and that'll be presented by our council member Villegas. And this is a part of the city council that we love to do is we always like to celebrate people and we like to celebrate our businesses. And it's great to have this opportunity to do that and recognize these small businesses. Councilmember Villegas.
I don't see the Abdul.
Is Mr. Abdul here? Mr. Abdul out here?
Oh, he's not here. Anyway, I know this family business called Estrella in South Gateway. This business has been there for many years. And what they do, they are cashing the checks to a lot of farm workers. They always go there because the easy way to change the check. I was one of them too at one time for many years. Go over there and cash my check. And also it's a store, restaurant, and it's like a catch your check quick, just like that. They have the money ready. So this business is very essential to farm workers because of that, because they go over there and change the check 7 days a week. There's people there changing the check. So Mr. Abdul and myself, I don't know why he's not here, but he knows me very well. So I will save this certificate for them. And one way or another, we're gonna give it to them. So that's all I can say. He's not present, so we save it for that.
Matter of fact, there, Councilmember Villegas, I have a check that I may need cashing. We need to get Abdul up in here. Thank you again. Up next, we have Rancho San Miguel Small Business, and we have Councilwoman Evans.
Blessings, everyone, and thank you all for being here this evening. Is Mr. Bradstone here? Come on down. You're the next contestant.
All right.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Stone. Rancho San Miguel, the store that's right behind my house that I look out and I see all the time. I just want to tell you thank you. There's many mornings that I have gotten up and I've been hungry and well, you have some, if you guys haven't had his tamales, you guys go get tamales. The breakfast is awesome. But the small business, I just want to say thank you, the proclamation here, and I'm just going to read it. It says, whereas the city of Madera celebrates local small businesses and the contribution that they make to our local economic community. And whereas our community thrives because of the hard work and dedication of small business owners who continually contribute to the economic vitality and diversity of our region. Whereas Small Business Saturday is celebrated annually on the Saturday after Thanksgiving and is a day to celebrate, support small businesses. And we now myself, Councilwoman Anita Evans, the Mayor, City of Madera, and on behalf of the entire City Council, do proclaim November 29th, Small Business Saturday. We encourage all residents to support local businesses by shopping locally and making a positive impact on the economic well-being of our community. Thank you so very much, sir.
We are now in our 18th year of operating. I moved here in the fall of '08 to assist in the final construction and opening of Rancho San Miguel. Most of my kids have grown up here in this town, and we're proud to be a part of Madera, to be a part of the community, and to support not only our customers, but to be a part of the city and what we can do in sponsoring events throughout the city and fundraising and doing donations throughout different entities and organizations. We are grateful to be here, and just want to thank the council and all those who do support us. Thank you so much.
Okay, last but not least, this was going to be presented by our Mayor Gallegos. This is for Midland Tractor, and I believe we have Mr. Nelson and Son. Now, as these gentlemen are coming here, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to know Mr. Nelson. Matter of fact, this guy's a hell of a guy. He's very giving to the community. And one of the things that we see about Midland Tractor, especially in our sales report, is they continue to keep our economy moving around. So we appreciate the small business, and we appreciate the economy that you produce here for our community. With that, I'll go ahead and present this to you. Again, this is a proclamation, Small Business Saturday to Midland Tractor, whereas the City of Madera celebrates local small businesses and contributions they make to our local economy and community. And whereas our community thrives because of the hard work and dedication of small business owners who continually contribute to the economic vitality and diversity of our region. And whereas Small Business Saturday is celebrated annually on Saturday after Thanksgiving and is a day to celebrate and support local small businesses. And therefore, let it be known that I, Mayor Pro Tem Jose Rodriguez, Mayor Cici Gallegos, and the entire City Council do hereby proclaim November 29, 2025, Small Business Saturday. We encourage all residents to support our local businesses by shopping locally and making a positive impact on the economic well-being of our community. With that, I present this to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I'm Stan Nelson. It's wonderful to be recognized by the City Council, and just blessed to be have been in Madera for so long. The company's been around since '69, and then you came there in '79. So we've been here a lot of years, and Madera has been nothing but good for our family. So grateful for this honor, and thank you for the recognition.
Thank you. So what we're going to ask of you, if you don't mind, Mr. Nelson, is we're going to take a picture with the council. If you don't mind, we'll step up there. Thank you again. Yeah, come on back. All right. You're all good. Try to squeeze in a little there. Yes, good. Yeah, I got it. Yes. That's very good.
Yep. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. I'll just go through there. 1, 2, 3. One more.
Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Yes, I'll take this. Yeah, no.
Now on to our second presentation this evening. It's a proclamation recognizing Veterans Day.
Yes, thank you, Madam Clerk. Before we get to that next, we'll let the room kind of clear out. Again, one last round of applause for all of our small businesses. All right. Am I gonna have to use a gavel? You're gonna have to take it away from me, okay?
He's getting happy with it. Steve.
Sure.
You want to take a break?
Yeah, you know,
We got to.
let's go ahead and take a couple minutes, about four minutes recess there, only so we can clear. If you don't mind, yeah, and we'll congratulate some of these businesses. So give us about 3 minutes. All right, so we're back. Thanks again, Madam Clerk. And again, we'll continue with our presentations. Second presentation is proclamation recognizing Veterans Day. And I believe we have Councilwoman Evans that'll be making this presentation.
Again, thank you very much, Councilwoman Evans here. And I would like to call up Imogene Olson. Olson, you know what? I always do that. I'm so sorry. She's retired from the Air Force, correct?
Retired, I did 12 years.
12 years, 12 years. So this is a true honor. Generally, we don't have a lot of women. There was a 6888 that was in 1945 to 1946, and that's where the mail was distributed. And now I am so very honored to have, as a veteran, Miss Imogene, say it again? Allison. And this proclamation is for Veterans Day. Whereas the greatest acknowledgement of our freedom is to honor our armed forces, veterans who are sacrificed for the freedom. And whereas in 1975, Congress voted to approve Veterans Day as a national holiday every November 11th in honor of all veterans who have served in the armed forces. Whereas the city of Madera recognizes and respects our veterans for their many contributions. Whereas the city has all branches of military represented and dozens of employees who have donned the military uniform in the service of our country and community. Whereas for this service and their dedicated efforts, these men and women have earned the gratitude of the city of Madera. And therefore I, Councilwoman Anita Evans, the mayor, Cece Gallegos, Vice Mayor Pro Tem, Jose Rodriguez, and my entire city council, we wish to congratulate you. Thank you for your service and continued success with you. And would you like to have something to say?
Hello, my name is Imogene Allison, and I served 12 years in the United States Air Force, which gave me a foundation to go to my next career, which was 30 years in the California Department of Corrections. It was an honor to serve in the military, and I appreciate the recognition. Thank you.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Madam Clerk?
And for our third presentation this evening, it's the recognition of Old Timers Day Parade first place winners.
All right, and I get the liberty of doing that. Great.
Donald.
Would you like me to answer that? That's right. All right. First of all, I'd like to call up the Madera Torres High School Band. Do we have any representatives? There we go. Thank you. So during the Old Timers Parade, there were certain recognitions and prizes, or more so places that they had when it comes to the recognition at the Old Timers. So Matilda Torres High School, the Madera City Council proudly recognized the Matilda Torres High School Band for their outstanding performance at the Old Timers Day Parade. Their exceptional musical talent, precision, and school spirit earned them the honors of Best Band Entry, Sweepstake Champion, and Best in Parade. So with that, congratulations. And if you'd like to have some words, please do.
My name's Ryan Durlam, and I have the privilege of being the band director over at Torres High School. On behalf of the over 120 students that are in the program, the 3 directors, and over 15 staff members that we have that get to work with our students, we want to thank the City Council for the recognition. Also, a thank you for just the participation within the parade. We absolutely love this wonderful community here in Madera. And getting to see these over 120 students working so hard day in and day out, all of their nighttime practice. We were in the 45-degree cold last night practicing for state championships this weekend that we're going to be competing in Fresno over at Garza High School if you're free. At any rate, it's just a true honor and privilege to get to serve the city of Madera, and want to also thank our senior drum majors that are here, Antonella Saracino and Dallas Vaughn, who came over to also receive this recognition, all the hard work for leading our kids into being great ambassadors for the city of Madera everywhere we travel across the state. So thank you all very much for the recognition, and go Toros. And thank you so much.
Yeah. They couldn't have picked a better day for me to be mayor, and today was that day. So I thank you all, because this is exactly the gratitude of why, I serve the city council, is because of moments like this, to be able to recognize folks of their achievements, recognitions, and their contributions to our city. Up next, we do have also a certificate of recognition for the Madera Splash Pad. So if they're here. And they're going to show off their trophy that they received here. This awesome. So I think we have several members. It wasn't too long ago. I want to say 2 meetings ago that they came in here for a public comment. And one of their requests was to go up there and take a picture. They had mentioned that they had won this prize with the Old Timers Parade. So they had requested to take a picture with the city council up front. And because it was public comment and it wasn't agendized, we had to put it on the agenda. So we wanted to recognize them for that as well. Again, they participated in the Old Timers Parade. With that, this certificate of recognition for the Madera Splash Pad. The city of Madera proudly recognizes Madera Splash Pad for earning best overall entry in the Old Timers Parade. Your creativity and enthusiastic participation helped make this year's celebration memorable for residents and visitors alike. So one round of applause, and then I'll have someone from the viewing entire splash pad. Would you like to?
Of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Yolanda Contreras, a member of the Splash Pad project. This is just an initial project that just moms are getting together and trying to make this happen here in Madera. And I just want to thank the City Council for providing us this recognition. I appreciate that. And a Splash Pad will be here in Madera. I don't know when, but it will be here. Yeah. Thank you.
We have one other recognition, and then we'll get to the horseshoe, right? Seems like the horseshoe has some comments to make, right?
Here again.
Let's try to get the little ones up front if we can, so that we can squeeze all the
Back or the collar ones go back, and the younger ones in the front. Yeah.
Do we have enough? Can we get you all in there? I want to try the students in the back, okay?
Let's have some of the little ones over here.
Yes.
You don't want in the front, I guess.
Other side.
Yeah, right here. Right behind.
All right.
Yeah. Right over there, yeah, okay, come here.
Can you see her? I'm gonna pick her up.
Okay, everyone over here, please. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Wait. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, she has okay. Look over there.
Now, I wasn't sure if there was a member of Congressman Gray's office here to present the same award. Yeah, if you do, please give me 1 second. We do have India from Congressman Gray's office. This is the same recognition, correct?
Yes, for both military.
You want to say that?
Foreigners as well? Yes, they just stepped out.
Go ahead and you can give your speech, right?
All right. Wait for her to get them.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so we're getting her too. She's absentee.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I was wondering about that. I'm like,
Here they are.
And
we can get Yolanda, just one of you guys to come get the award.
Of course. Hello, everybody. My name is India. I'm here on behalf of Congressman Adam Gray. We saw the pictures, we heard all the news of your guys' win. Congratulations on being selected for Best Band. As a Stallion Band alumni myself, congratulations to you guys for this year's win. And congratulations, I know we've been in contact quite a few times, so I would just like to present these certificates of congressional recognition on his behalf. Thank you guys so much.
Awesome. Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and I would be remiss if I did not announce the other winner, which was Debbie Marshall. And she was the winner of her outstanding presentation dedication for best equestrian. Equestrian, thank you. That kind of is a tongue twister there for me. But anyhow, just wanted to make sure we recognize her. We do have a certificate of recognition, and alongside we have congressional recognition. So all these three contestants made it not only locally, but also congressionally. So thank you so much. Again, round of applause for them. We will move on to the final resolution recognizing, Madam Clerk, can you please take on that?
yes, Mayor Pro Tem, for our final presentation this evening, it's a resolution recognizing Mr. Luther Slack. And this presentation will be given by the office of Senator Ana Caballero.
Hello, good evening, members of the council, Mayor Pro Tem. My name is Arturo Martinez, District Representative for the Office of State Senator Ana Caballero. I do have a proclamation with me, but it is a bit big, so thank you, Councilwoman Anita. So I'll go ahead. I do have the verbiage here. So I'll go ahead and read it. It is some good information that I would begin reading. Members' resolution by the Honorable Ana M. Caballero, 14th Senatorial District, relative to memorializing Luther Burbank Slack. Whereas the passing on May 29, 2025 of Luther Burbank Slack, a caring and compassionate California resident, a devoted civic leader whose good deeds earn him the respect and admiration of his colleagues and the countless individuals whose lives he touched, brought great sorrow and an immense sense of loss to people throughout the Madera and the state of California. And whereas known as man of understanding, wisdom, strength, and patience, who was always ready to extend a hand in friendship and lead with an open heart, Luther Slack was born to William C. Slack and Lily Pearl Slack on April 29, 1940. In Wilmot, Arkansas, where education, church, and community service were high priorities in the Slack family. And throughout his life, Luther often explained to people how his strong faith orchestrated his life. And whereas a true patriot, Luther Slack joined the United States Navy in January 1962, completing his basic training in San Diego, California, before being assigned to Ferndale. And from 1962 to 1970, he was on active duty, achieving the rank of Chief Petty Officer. And whereas Luther Slack attended the U.S. Navy School of Dental Technology in the U.S. Navy Field Medical Service School, in addition to which he earned certificates in career counseling, leadership management, and instructing cardiopulmonary resuscitation (CPR). And after his honorable discharge from the Navy, he served in the U.S. Navy Reserve from 1970 to 1996, participating in the field training of many active duty U.S. Marines and naval enlistees. And whereas devoting his life to serving his country and his community, Luther Slack participated in sit-ins at lunch counters in Little Rock, Arkansas during the Civil Rights Movement, started an education committee attended by local Madera school administrators to work together to better serve Madera students, was a member of the Madera Unified Curriculum Oversight Committee, and served as president of the Madera NAACP Branch 1084, and with his late wife Clarissa, he played a key role in reinstating Youth Council 1739, traveled with local youth to several national NAACP Afro-academic, cultural, technological, and scientific Olympics competitions, and initiated the Back to School, Stay in School rally for all Madera Unified School District middle schools. And whereas, in addition, Luther Slack was employed for more than 14 years by the state of California as a prison industry superintendent in the dental laboratory at Chowchilla Women's Correctional Facility, where he trained and counseled a staff of 30 inmates in fabricating partial dentures, taught CPR to state employees, and helped several inmates become certified dental technicians, beyond which he later served as a mentor for elementary school students in Madera, helping them to succeed in their studies and work toward becoming productive adults. And whereas a man whose faith directed him in every area of his life, Luther Slack was a member of the United Methodist Church before joining Family Community Church in Fresno. And whereas Luther Slack held a Bachelor of Arts degree in Social Science, a Master of Arts degree, and a credential in Education from Chapman University, and whereas limitless in his vision and capacity to excel throughout his life, Luther Slack will forever be remembered as a beacon of hope for those who have committed themselves to improving the quality of life for future generations. And preceded in death by his wife, Clarissa, he leaves to mourn his passing and celebrate his legacy, his daughter, Camille Slack, his son, Brian Slack, his granddaughter, Cameron, and his grandson, Carter. Now, therefore, be it resolved by Senator Ana M. Caballero that he joins the family and friends of Luther Burbank Slack in celebrating and revering the accomplishments and legacy of a distinguished and caring individual who lived to the fullest, whose generosity was extended without hesitation or expectation of reward, and whose spirit will live forever in the hearts and memories of his loved ones. And this is now inscribed in the state of California history. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jenny.
Wow, there's not much to say more about my dad. I want to thank the city council. I want to thank Councilwoman Evans and Senator Ana Caballero. I want to thank the city of Madera for how they honored my father. Because of all that he did in this community was represented by all that honored him at the funeral and in this resolution. It shows that people really honored the work that he did, and it showed his commitment to this community. And at this time, I want to encourage all people to recognize our little heroes that are not famous, but that they contribute to the community. They contribute to education, they commit to the military, and they contribute to being teachers and nurses and doctors and attorneys. And I would just want to encourage people to do that, no matter what side of the aisle you are politically, but to do that in love and to do that according to God's word and God's wisdom. And I want to thank you all tonight for recognizing that.
Thank you.
Family, come up. Donald Holly, come up.
Everyone over here, please. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you.
Jean, I didn't know you were still here.
As the room is starting to clear, if you guys would like to make yourselves more comfortable, there are some seats that are open as well up here in the front, and there's some out here in the front as well. So feel free to make yourself more comfortable. And what I'll ask is if as people are starting to make their way out, maybe we can continue with the city's business, but we'll need to close the door so that we can have the attention here for the public comment. Thank you, Chief. All right. Well, thank you again. All right, Madam Clerk, our next item, please.
Is public comment. The first 15 minutes of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the council on items which are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the council. Speakers shall be limited to 3 minutes. Speakers will be asked but are not required to identify themselves and state the subject of their comments. If the subject is an item on the agenda, the mayor has the option of asking the speaker to hold the comment until that item is called. Comments on items listed as a public hearing on the agenda should be held until the hearing is opened. The council is prohibited by law from taking any action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusions should be drawn if the council does not respond to public comment at this time.
Thank you again, Madam Clerk. And as our clerk mentioned, this is a 15-minute period for public comment. I do notice that there is quite a few people representing the Horseshoe League. So I'm going to ask if there's anyone not in the Horseshoe that would like to make a public comment to come out. We'll reserve the last 10 minutes for the Horseshoe League. And if we need go beyond the 15 minutes, we can always push that to the end of the agenda so that we hear all your comments. So at this time, I'll ask if there's any member of the public wishing to come forward.
Hello, my name is Kate Denise, and I'm here in support of the Madera Splash Pad project. I'm also here to support all parks in Madera and help make them better for the youth in my community. I had the honor of participating in the Madera Soccer Youth League, but I think we can improve the soccer fields at the Madera Sports Complex by growing grass and filling the holes for the players for safety, and more officers patrolling the area for the safety of our players. And thank you.
Thank you. Young man, what was the name again for the record?
Kate Denise.
Kate Denise?
Kate Denise, yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Do we have any other members of the public wishing to make a comment?
Now that I'm up here, I don't want to take the mic. I just really want to quickly commend again Arturo Martinez on behalf of the office in Caballero. We had a really great and successful Veterans Day. Our team participated in multiple Veterans Day events throughout the valley. Our office also participated at the Madera State of the County, where we had heard a great presentation from City Manager Arnoldo. I will say I commend the City Manager. He really brought up the PowerPoints and it really helped. I just remember him talking about, the different investments the city has done towards the community. So that's really highly and commendable, and also acknowledge some of the investments we have brought here towards the city. And apart from that, our adult legislative program put on by the Senator did conclude. Video is still in production, but once we have that finalized, I will go ahead and bring it for you all to see. And we also did recognize farm workers that saved children from a bus that I guess was smoke and then caught on fire at the Madera County Board of Supervisors. Our office remains here to assist constituents with any state issues, but we also stay here to ensure that if there's any needs the city has, we're here for the city and for our people of Madera and of the Valley. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arturo. Okay, do we have any other members? Oh,
She's down
yeah,
there.
yeah. Miss Madera?
A little bit more.
Hi, my name is Jewel Ocean Denise, and I am Little Miss Madera County, and I would love to have a water park at Madera County. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any other members from the public wishing to make a comment? I believe we do have a large support group here for the Madera Horseshoe. If there's any members that would like to come, we reserve some time here.
And Mayor, if I can take this opportunity.
Yes.
If you would like to appoint a spokesperson, that would probably make a very good use of your time because you have about 10 minutes. And then that way you won't have to wait to the end of the meeting to make any more comments. So if you have a spokesperson or somebody who would be willing to do that, you've got your 10 minutes, just as a suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sidney.
There's only three of us.
Okay, great. Go right ahead.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and City Council. First of all, I pray for the speedy recovery of our mayor and get her back on the job as soon as possible. My name is Harlan Ripito. I'm the founder of the Big Valley Horseshoe League. I'm here this evening to ask for your support to fund the building of 8 additional horseshoe courts at Rotary Park. Madera is geographically located in the middle of the state of California, and we're ideal we're an ideal site for getting the state tournament. Madera's, the additional courts would be needed to qualify for a state tournament. As mentioned before, appearing before your council, I've been in contact with the National Pitchers Horse Association, and they've told me that they're very favorable for us if we get the courts, that they would give us strong consideration to bring the state tournaments to Madera. During a three-day state tournament, there's approximately 200 people plus their families that would come into the town, use our hotels and restaurants and shop, and it would benefit Madera considerably. If we can construct the courts, it would be a win-win for Madera, as we could expand our existing Horseshoe League and accept statewide recognition in the horseshoe community, in addition to be economically beneficial to the city. Our Horseshoe League has just completed 25 years of play at Rotary Park. I have asked members of the Horseshoe League to attend the meeting to show support for the building of the additional courts. If I could, I would like the Horseshoe members to please stand up so you can see who they are.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like now to introduce to you the current league president, Nick Balderrama. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nick Balderrama, and I am the current president of the Big Valley Horseshoe League and the Big Valley Horseshoe Club here in Madera. We have a spring and fall horseshoe league annually at Rotary Park with approximately 120 pitchers each season. Our club is associated with the National Horseshoe Pitching Association and the Northern California Horseshoe Pitching Association, hosting tournaments and fundraisers at Rotary Park throughout the year, and has grown to over 60+ members annually, ranging from 5 to 80 years old. Both the league and club have become a staple of Madera, the Central Valley, and horseshoes in general. We have grown to become the biggest horseshoe league and club in California and one of the most recognized and observed in the nation, now celebrating our 25th year anniversary this year. Our tournaments and league bring people to Madera weekly from all over the valley, from as far south as San Luis Obispo and Bakersfield, as far north as Sacramento and the Bay Area, and from San Jose to Auberry, bringing communities together and to be a part of what we have here. We've established an exciting, fun, competitive family environment that has not had any major issues with the city or park in our 25 years. What we have here in Madera is very special and sought after by many cities, but never duplicated. Our horseshoe pits are self-maintained, but we've shown community support with such things like planting trees that help beautify Rotary Park and participating in events like the first taco truck throwdown that was held there. We've held fundraising events contributing to local organizations such as Madera Animal Shelter, New Beginnings Church, Boys and Girls Club, American Red Cross for Fire Relief, A Combat Veterans Hope, Tulare Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Ethan's Hope, and the United States Marine Corps Toys for Tots, which we hold a tournament for every year. We support local businesses such as Protease, Madera Trophy, Sugar Pine Smokehouse, the Elks Lodge, and several other various stores and restaurants. Our organization has brought revenue to the city of Madera and has proven to maintain a good working relationship with Joe and Hector from the Parks Department. Our league and club are growing, and with the installation of additional horseshoe pits, it will allow us to expand our league, which is a waiting list to add additional teams, and our club tournaments, which have to have 2 games played on 1 pit due to the amount of people we draw. With the addition of these pits, we are being sought after to host major annual tournaments due to our Central California locations, such as the Northern California and Southern California State Championships, the NorCal Singles and Doubles Championships, and many more, all which will bring hundreds of people and revenue to Madera for these events. I've already been in contact with several local hotels to generate interest in accommodating these events as a host hotel. Expanding our horseshoe pits only makes everything mentioned bigger and better, with additional revenue and exposure for the city of Madera. Most are driven by Rotary Park on 99 on a Wednesday or a Wednesday night or a Sunday afternoon, and they see something they've never seen before: completely filled horseshoe pits and an opportunity to participate in one of America's oldest pastimes, horseshoes. With your help, we can take this to the next level. It's a win-win for everyone: horseshoes, community, and Madera.
Thank you, Mr. Valderrama.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Cody Nelson. I'm a member of the Big Valley Horseshoe League. I'm a member of the Shoe Slinger team. I am here tonight to request your support to fund and build 8 additional horseshoe courts at Rotary Park. I believe the construction of the additional courts will, 1, help bring the state tournament to Madera, 2, enable to expand the Horseshoe League, and 3, improve the economy of Madera, of the city, when out-of-town pitchers utilize the hotels and restaurants during tournament play. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Cody. All right. Next speaker, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Yolanda Contreras, a representative of the Madera Splash Pad Project. First of all, I want to appreciate the recognition that we received earlier today. Thank you all. And I just want to say something real quick. I know that I speak in every public meeting, but Éxodo 9:1. Preséntate de nuevo al faraón. Le ordenó el Señor a Moisés. Y dile, esto dice el Señor, Dios de los hebreos, deja ir a mi pueblo para que me adore. So what I get from this is like, I will continue fighting for the splash pad. Today, tomorrow, until we have one for our kids and then it's all accessible for our kids. Thank you all.
Thank you. I don't see any other folks with the public comment. Madam Clerk, do we have any written comments or members on Zoom and or audio?
We have none, Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, so that'll conclude the public comment. So we'll close public comment, move on to item A, public hearings. We do have an item there, A1, I believe was requested by staff to continue. I'll allow the room to clear.
Yes, Mayor, item A1 has been continued to December 3rd, so we're on item A2.
Thank you. Wow, just when I was made mayor, everybody leaves the room. That's not good. I'll get to do this. All right. Let's convene with the meeting. Again, I believe item A1 was recommended by staff to continue for the following meeting scheduled on December 3rd of 2025. So that item will continue. Moving on to item A2. Madam Clerk.
Item A2 is a public hearing regarding annexation number 17, track 25-S-01, TSM 2024-05, Tozer 3 subdivision into Community Facilities District number 2005-1, Public Services, under the Mello-Roos Community Facilities Act of 1982 and related actions.
Great. Thank you, Madam Clerk. I now open the public hearing for annexation number 17 regarding the annexation of territory to Community Facilities District, also known as CFD number 2005-01.
I declare that the notice of public hearing was published on November 8th, 2025.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Staff, please proceed with your report.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council members. Robert Smith, Senior Planner. As mentioned, the project represents the annexation of annexation number 17 for the Tozer 3 residential subdivision in the Community Facilities District, which is a way to create special tax for public service funding throughout the city when generated by new development. The district to be annexed is highlighted to the southeast of the map and shows the annexations also previously brought into the district. The map was approved in 2024 for 52 residential lots conditions of approval requiring the applicant to make this annexation application. The assessment on this application is currently at $567 per unit for this new annexation. The recommendation to hold a public hearing, adopt the resolution of the City Council to annex the territory, conduct the election of the qualified electors, and adopt the resolution of the City Council with the findings declaring the and certifying the results of the special election for annexation number 17. That concludes staff's presentation. We're available for questions should you have them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. At this time, I now open the hearing to protests, comments, and questions from interested parties. Do we have any? Madam Clerk, anything online?
We have none.
Okay. So City Clerk, are there any written protests? You said no. Okay, so Madam Clerk.
I declare no written protests were received by the city, that there are less than 12 registered voters within the territory to be annexed into Community Facilities District 2005-01, that written consents to holding the Community Facilities District elections today have been received from all the landowners within the proposed annexation number 17, and that I concur with the holding of the special election for annexation number 17.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I now close the public hearing. Is there any discussion from the council? Yes. Councilmember Villegas?
Yeah, this one was in the previous meetings for the city council. And I believe that they should we continue and approve it? That's my request.
Well, that's going to be the next step here. So if there's no other discussion, is there a motion to adopt the resolution authorizing the annexation, authorizing the levy of a special tax and submitting the levy of tax to the qualified electors?
And before there is, Mayor, the resolution has one typo in the title. It should be annexation 17. So if your motion is to approve, we're going to make the correction to 17. Thank you.
Thank you for making that amendment there, City Attorney. So with that, that is number 17.
Move to approve with the correction noted by City Attorney.
Okay, thank you.
Second it.
Okay, motion from Councilmember Montes, second from Councilmember Evans. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Do you need me to read out the motion as far as, okay, we're good? All right. City Clerk, I'll call on you to conduct the election.
2 ballots have been received. I now close the election and announce the results. It appears we've received 2 ballots. And for the first ballot, as to annexing the property under annexation number 17 to CFD 2005-01, there's 1 yes vote and 0 no votes. And the second item, it appears this is not a ballot, City Attorney, it's a petition and waiver. Okay. So as to annexing the property under annexation number 17 to CFD number 2005-01, there's 1 yes vote, 0 no votes. I declare the annexation passes unanimously. Council, you may proceed to consider adoption of the resolution declaring the election results.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, is there a motion to adopt the resolution declaring the election results, adding territory as the annexation number 17 to CFD 2005-1 and authorizing the levy of special tax?
Move to adopt.
Second it.
We do have a motion from Councilmember Montes, second from Councilmember Evans. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay, motion carries. That was a 6-0
6-0.
and 1 absent. Okay, so the motion to adopt, we're good there. So that closes item A2. Moving on to item B. Consent calendar. Madam Clerk?
Matters listed under the consent calendar are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion and one vote. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, a member of the public or a member of the council may request an item to be removed from the consent calendar and it will be considered separately. Mayor Pro Tem, I have one announcement regarding item B6. This is the NG item, and we made a correction to the notice of completion, listing all of the addresses, and that's for the purposes of recording this at the county. It's a requirement.
Perfect. Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, you do have the consent calendar before you. Is there any member of this council wishing to pull out any item for a separate discussion? Okay. We do have Council Member Mejia.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I'd like to recuse myself from voting on item B3 because it involves me.
Okay. City Attorney, we'll have, can we have her recuse herself on this item alone and come back and have her vote on the rest?
In this particular case, you can all vote and hear everything all at once, and her vote will be recorded as recusing herself for item B3, but but she'll be able to vote on all the other items. So it'd just be a motion to approve the consent calendar, a second, and then the minutes will fix it on the back end.
Thank you very much, City Attorney, again. So you have that modification that the clerk had made, and also the recusal of item B3 from a member Mejia. Okay, do we have any members of the public wishing to make a comment? Seeing none, any Zoom audio?
We have none, Mayor Pro Tem.
All right, so I'll bring this back to my council.
So move to approve consent with the corrections noted by the city clerk.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion from Councilmember Montes, second from Councilmember Evans. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right. Moving on to item C. We have no workshop, so we'll move on to item D, petitions, bids, resolutions, ordinances, and agreements. Item D1, Madam Clerk.
Item D1 is the purchase of Boys Mobile Equipment Type 6 Custom Fire Engine and related budget amendment.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Temp, council members, city attorney, Madam Clerk, and city manager, and the other guests in the gallery and online. My name is Larry Pendarvis. I'm your Madera City Fire Chief. It's an honor to be here this evening to speak to you in regards to the purchase of our Boise Mobile Equipment Type 6 fire apparatus. It's a budget item on, on D1. So a little bit about the background. The city had established a vehicle replacement program. However, initially it did not include the city fire department equipment. So in 2019, the city did create a program for the fire equipment replacement, which allocated approximately $200,000 a year. In the year 2022, the city had increased it to $490,000 a year. This investment has allowed the city to replace dated equipment and to acquire equipment that supports fire prevention, which also is looked at as a major part in assisting us in our fire suppression efforts. The city does receive funds from sending engines to state incidents, also known as assistance by hire agreements. Those revenues are being placed into the equipment replacement fund. As far as the new equipment that has recently been purchased within the last 3 to 5 years, is we have gotten a new command vehicle, the Battalion 51 vehicle, which was replaced in the year 2023. It is a 2023 Dodge 2500. Also a UTV, it's Station 56, which was replaced in 2023. It's a 2023 Honda Pioneer Deluxe 5. And most recently, engine 57, which was replaced in 2024. That piece of equipment is a 2023 Rosenbauer Custom Type 1 fire engine. That picture is depicted before you. A little bit about the existing equipment that we have, and by station, there's 3 stations within the city. Engine 56, it goes all the way down here, engine 56, Frontline 2016. These apparatus range from 2006 up to 2023. Displaced both at 56, 57, and station 58. The proposed equipment by station would to continue to have engine 56 there at 56. The replacement, which would be the new Type 6 engine, is a 2026 BME. These all would be considered frontline engines. And also that the older engine 656, which is the 2006 piece of equipment, would now be put into reserve status and would be placed at reserve at Station 58. Those two are depicted in red, the new engine and the older one going into reserve status for you. And why the need? Well, the service life for fire apparatus, according to NFPA, the National Fire Protection Association, frontline is approximately 15 years of service. The next 5 years is the equipment goes into what we call reserve status. The current one is 19 years old now. Based on its age, it has become less reliable, and we do have frequent annual repairs on this piece of equipment. The proposed equipment, it would have the same color scheme as our current new engine 57, the red charcoal and the gold lettering. It does hold 300 gallons of water. It would be ideal use for use down in the river bottom, as well as any grass and vegetation fires in the surrounding areas. Controls are located at the rear of this apparatus, which is an improvement from previous apparatuses for the safety of the personnel who are operating the equipment, taking them away from the side of the apparatus where, in fact, could be a safety hazard due to vehicles and equipment passing by. It will take approximately 2.5 years. They do say 2.5 to 3 years for actual delivery of the equipment. So it's a long process from date of purchase to actual delivery. The pictures before you now is we went out to Merced City Fire Department, took a look at their apparatus, and it very, very close to what we are looking to get, the same BME buildup on this apparatus. Another one is a back view of it where I had depicted the controls at the rear of the apparatus on this picture here. The cost, the base price for it is $461,480.25. There is a prepay option on there as well. So how much money has the city saved through the Measure K funds? Through the fiscal years of 18-19, 19-20, 20-21, and 21-22, we have a total of $800,000. We did up it to $490,000 for the 22-23, 23-24, 24-25, and now we're halfway into the 25-26, which would give us 1.9. Total in the fire equipment replacement fund is $2,760,000. So what the city has purchased within the last 5 to 6 years is those figures that you see before you, everything from the UTV vehicle all the way down to what we use on the Safe and Clean team with the tractors, the skid steer, masticator, flail mower, and of course that engine 57 on there. Other expenses for engine 656, the price that I gave you is for the apparatus itself. So in addition to the engine replacement, we will be looking at a later date with the separate items for the equipment to outfit the unit itself. The estimated cost to fully equip a Type 6 engine is approximately $100,000. Because the engine has an estimated 2.5-year lead time, the equipment request will be scheduled before you and for consideration at a later date closer to the delivery of the apparatus. Please know that this is only informational and it's not being presented to you at this as an action item at this time for the placement of the equipment. So looking ahead, based on the age and the operational need, the next engine is scheduled. Future replacement would be our engine 56, is a 2016. We are currently evaluating the options of replacing that with the same model as engine 57 for a fleet consistency and for efficiency. The current industry lead times indicate a 3-year turnaround time from time that the order is placed for that as well. Once again, this is not being considered for recommendation at this time. It's only information that I'm able to provide you for planning and awareness. So the recommendation is to adopt the resolution approving a purchase agreement for the Boise Mobile Equipment, also known as BME. It's a Type 6 fire engine under the Houston-Galveston Area Council Purchase Contract FS 12-23, and approving the amendment to the 25-26 adopted budget appropriating $461,480.25 for the purchase in the Measure K fire budget for the purchase of the equipment. I am available. That is the conclusion of my presentation. I am available for any questions.
Thank you, Chief Pendarvis. Appreciate the presentation. I'll bring this back to my council. Do we have any comments or questions? Okay, if not, then I'll ask a question regarding the numbers. You say it's type 6, and then you
Yeah.
have 656, and then you have station 56. Is that a coincidence, or is that just
Well, the number sequence is due to what we call incident command system typing. A type 1 apparatus has just this, would have just the station number. As we start getting into the type 3, which is the 4-wheel drive engines, they'll have a 3. So if we had a type 3 engine, it would be engine 356. And so that this is a type 6 apparatus, so it is engine 656
Got it? Thank you.
for
Now-
ICS typing.
Got it. Now, you mentioned that this can take anywhere between 2.5 years before you receive that, right? And then on
Yes.
top of that, you still have to equip it, so that could take an additional 6 months, a year.
Well, as long as we're forecasting, that's a great question. As long as we're forecasting it out and we're getting close to the delivery date, so within about 3 to 4 months, we would go ahead and come before you with that resolution to purchase that equipment. The turnaround time is much shorter for the equipment than it is for the apparatus itself.
Now, the issues that you're facing now with the current engine, you have it, you're going to place it as a reserve, but now it's giving you issues. What now in between that time?
That lag time.
Yes.
This is, we've been doing in the past, sir, is it goes out of service for maintenance from time to time. If we do what we can, basically, we're putting a Band-Aid over it until we can actually get it replaced.
And that'll happen for the next 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Up until you receive it.
We've been experiencing these problems for probably about the last 4.5 years with this apparatus.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you giving us the life of this engine, the expectancy, especially no more than 15 years. So maybe in the future, as the fleet starts coming to that end, we can anticipate that early so that we can get these in service and we're not having that concern or that lag with those. But thank you again for your presentation.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions, comments? If not, then I'll open it up to public comment. We have any online?
We have none, Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, seeing none, hearing none, we'll bring this item back here to council to approve.
Second it.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilmember Montes, second from Councilmember Evans. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Moving on to item D2, Madam Clerk.
Amendment number 1 to agreement with Stantec Consulting Services, Inc. for the wastewater treatment facility improvement project for additional engineering services during construction and design of a new influent pump station IPS wet well.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council, Arnoldo Rodriguez, City Manager. I will be presenting this evening. The item before council this evening is amendment number 1 to a contract with Stantec Engineering for assistance for design services for the city's wet well. As the council is aware, we are currently in the middle of constructing a new headworks project at the wastewater treatment plant. That item came before council on December 4th of 2004, and that was for the actual contract to construct it. if council may recall, that as part of that project, there was a 15% contingency, and there was language during the council meeting, we had discussed some potential challenges that we saw coming up. The challenge for staff is that we didn't really have a clear line of sight of what that meant, because the existing wet well could not be properly inspected until we installed a temporary bypass. And so the challenge was that in June of this year, there was a 24-hour bypass installed as part of the Headworks project. At that time, that's when it was determined that the existing wet well is it's in poor condition, and and the item for this evening is to engage Stantec for additional engineering services to design a new wet well. The construction of the wet well would come after the fact, but that's some context and some background. The one item or the one reason this item is being brought to council this evening is to to engage Stantec to continue on the engineering services and to ensure that this project that it remains on schedule. For some context here, this is an aerial photo of the wastewater treatment plant. In the upper right-hand corner in yellow, that's where their current Headworks project is being constructed. Again, that's an $8.7 million project. That project, I can't tell you it's halfway done, but if you go out there, there's a large structure that's being built as we speak. If I had to guess, probably 17 to 18 feet below grade, and then exceeds above grade as well. The red arrow, that's where the existing wet well is currently located. Preliminary, we have discussed keeping the wet well in its existing position. However, we do have two options this evening. Staff is going to recommend that the council approved a full reconstruction, not a rehabilitation of the existing wet well, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So the Stantec report in June revealed that it's damaged, that there's some missing concrete, there's extensive corrosion in the rebar there, or there's missing rebar altogether. And the challenge with rehabbing it is the rehab, again, ballpark figure, this is not a precise figure because the project hasn't been designed. The team guesstimated that it would be about $1 million to rehab it. For full reconstruction, it would be more than likely approximately 1.5 million. I'm going to ask that council not hold me to that number because we're not going to know until we actually design it and we actually go out for formal construction. One of the challenges that we have with rehabbing it is that we're not confident that the existing foundation can meet seismic standards. It would not meet seismic standards. And so one of the challenges that the city has is if we do rehab it, there's no assurances that this is going to last us for 10 or 15 years or 50 years. Conceptually, if we go and if we construct a new wet well, the existing wet well has been there for roughly 50 years. We're anticipating that we should be good for at least 40 years with the construction of a new one. These are a couple of photos of the existing wet well. You can see that there is a lot of corrosion on the concrete. On the photo on the right, you can see some of the rebar there where the concrete has been eroded away, and you're starting to see the rebar in the foundation of the wet well. Here are a couple of other photos on the interior of the wet well. And again, one of the reasons that staff was unable to tell its condition is that there was no way for the city to inspect it without installing a bypass. And so you do have to you have to install heavy equipment to bypass it. Again, we're averaging roughly 5 million gallons of raw sewage a day. So you have to keep it going. You simply can't stop the sewage from coming into the plant. And that's made it challenging to know some of the conditions. A lot of this is below grade as well. So this is not like a tank you walk into. It's all below grade. You're actually stepping on top of it. And so you can tell from the photos, it doesn't look like it's in good shape. It almost looks like you're in a cave because of the bumps on it. And again, there is exposed rebar. So Stantec has proposed two potential options in meeting with our team. Again, one of them is repair in kind. It's less costly than alternative number one, but again, it does not address the potential foundation issues. Alternative number two, it does cost more. It would be designed to accommodate the ultimate capacity of the plant as it's designed of 10.1 million gallons a day. Right now, the plant receives approximately 5 million gallons a day. slightly less on some days. We have a permit from the state to process 7.2 million gallons a day. We're in the process of moving to having our permits for 10.1 million gallons a day. This would be a step in that direction. So in terms of long-term planning, this helps us get there. So again, it does include a lot of sensors and some safety features, and it does provide between 40 and 50-year design, but again, it does cost more. With that being said, city staff does support full replacement due to long-term reliability. And while the costs are more, they're not significantly more. The other item is that Stantec has done significantly more work than that was called for in the original contract. So this contract amendment tonight is for $160,000 for the design for Stantec. And again, they've done a lot more work than they had anticipated, and they've been an excellent partner through this process. And we've attended a lot of meetings to get to this point, and they've had to design a lot of plans, and it's taken months to get to this point. So again, so the total cost is $160,000. There are sufficient funds within the sewer fund. And council may recall that when council initially approved this project for construction, there was a contingency of 15%. A lot of projects are 10%. We always try to keep them at 10. There are a few occasions where we'll go to 15% or 20% because of the complexity of the project. On this one, it was 15%, which was $1.31 million. The $160,000 would come out of that 1.3 million. With that being said, preliminary estimates are going to put it at for construction are going to be about 1.5. So there is going to, if that number holds true, staff will have to come back to council for a budget amendment of a couple $100,000. But again, it's probably premature for me to talk council with absolute confidence. That's going to be the exact cost because we just don't know yet. It's just like a home construction project. You open up walls and you find stuff you didn't know were there. We're having the same situation now. So with that being said, staff does recommend that council adopt a resolution for an amendment with Stantec for engineering services of $160,000. And that concludes staff's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager Rodriguez. Do we have any questions or comments from the council? Okay, I do. City Manager, you mentioned there that right now we're operating at 7.5 million gallons per day. We're asking to increase that to 10 million. Now, this is a 50-year warranty or a lookout for 50 years. Now, being that we're moving to the direction of 10 million gallons per day, would you say that we'll be okay as far as the growth of Madera and what the projected growth is to be able to take in 10 million? The capacity is sufficient?
So right now, the city's operating, we are taking in approximately 5 million gallons a day right now. When it rains, that number goes up because there's water intrusion. But in the summer, sometimes it drops a little bit, about 4.5 million gallons a day. Our permit by the state is 7.2 million gallons. So we still have, if I can do the math, probably 30%, 35%, I'll say excess capacity as we speak. The plant itself is going to be designed to accommodate 10.1 million, so more about double of what we have in the city right now. So roughly, if we have 67,000 people, in theory, we can probably accommodate 135,000 people with at 10.1 million. The challenge, though, is under state guidelines, you cannot reach your capacity. Once you reach a certain threshold, you have to, by law, start designing to expand it. So once we're done with this project, and once we get to the 10.1 million permit phase, I'm going to speculate in a number of years, we'll be back before council saying we have to start the process for an expansion. And that expansion, it's going to be at the direction of council and some state guidelines. If we're at 10.1, and if we start looking at future build out, for example, if Village D starts to build out, that's 35,000 people. Then that's going to add to it. If you start taking a look at the Southeast growth area, that's going to add to it. And so at 10.1 million gallons, the city is going to be fine for several decades. A lot of that's going to be predicated on really market conditions. And if we experience a tremendous amount of growth, which would be great, and we would welcome it, I think the plant's going to be in good shape. There are some improvements that we're in the process of making as we speak. For example, the Headworks project that's going to help us get to the 10.1 million. But legally right now we're at 7.2 is our permit, but we're not bumping anywhere near the 7.2.
Yeah, and to your point, I think we're only collecting 5 million. So,
Correct.
you know, why I bring this up, right, is past councils, you know, and I'm not, this isn't to, um, you know, throw anything at them, but, you know, obviously the increase in growth that Madera had over the last 2, 3 decades was not really accounted for in their projections. And we see a lot of the issues that we face with infrastructure. So when it comes to these 50 years, it's just down, I can't say it's down the street. I may not be here. I know that I'm not going to be, who knows, but just to make sure that we're looking at these possible spurts of growth and with demographics maybe showing some decline in population at some point, I think we would be okay. Just wanted to confirm that we should be okay to double the size that we have today.
Correct.
All right. I don't know if there's any other questions. Yes.
Just to follow up on that, if say we do have a period that the market's great, we have a period of expansion, population growth, would essentially redoing our current wastewater treatment plant be feasible, or would we be able to add maybe another facility at another site and kind of you know, put it into a closed system, or could those systems you know, function independently, right? So say you have Village Z, they can have their own wastewater treatment plant. Is that something they would do, or we would always have to essentially tear this one down and build it back up?
No, the city always has the option of adding a package plant. The city staff has talked about potential options of a package plant to accommodate certain growth in certain areas because of the lack of existing sewer lines and it simply it's engineering, it's feasible. The problem is it's cost prohibitive. And so the city can always add a package plant in another part of the community, for example, in Northeast Madera and Southeast Madera to accommodate additional growth. The city always has that option. It would be the permitting process with Regional Water Control Board that we would have to go through. And the existing plant can always be expanded as well. At some point, if that's the case, the city would more than likely have to acquire additional land. But one of the things that we are seeing as well, with additional growth, it's not necessarily a gallon per gallon, because if you look at the past 15 years, due to water rates, there's less water usage. And with advances in technology, a lot of our raw sewage is decreasing per capita, because if you take a look at washing machines, they become more efficient. Low flow shower heads, low flow sinks. Toilets today are 1.28 gallons per flush. Historically, there were 3 gallons of flush. So every time you flush, we as society are, or at least in California, we're using half of the water of what our parents probably used. And so the amount of volume is decreasing. While the total gallons are decreasing, the waste content is increasing because the same volume of solids, and that's presenting other challenges. And so maybe the plant can accommodate it, but we're probably going to have to add additional elements to it to try to separate the solids from the water, I'll say.
I'm sorry, that conversation went. We promote a low fiber diet or something like that. I was kidding. I was kidding. I'm sorry. No, but that was a good, great question. Yeah,
You got me there.
you sparked that, like, okay, you know, kind of planning for future plans. So thank you. Just made me start thinking. Thank you.
So now that we're talking about fiber, I think we need to start promoting more fiber. Thank you. Is there another question from, oh, okay, Commissioner Zachariah, please.
Yeah, and just to understand, Arnoldo, so with some of the numbers like that come with this, for instance, you know, we went 5, 7, and then 10. Is what is the total capacity of that particular item? Could it be built out to a 15 or 20, or what point does that land? Do we say 10 is the max and we have to now go to a new site, or like what is the full capacity of that?
You can always expand capacity at plants. It's just a matter of adding additional systems. Right now, as far as city staff goes, we are designing the entire plant to be at 10.1 million gallons. We can always, for example, the wet well. Right now, we are designing the wet well to accommodate 10.1 million gallons. In theory, we could go up to 20 million gallons. The challenge for that, though, is who's going to pay for it, and is it the ratepayer or is development impact fees? And then you start affecting the customer's rates. and the development impact fee program. While council always has that prerogative, what we're trying to do is we're trying to be fiscally conservative to make sure that we're not building systems that are so over capacity that we're not going to need them for several decades. So what we're trying to do is right size it, but at the same time still accommodate growth for at least the next probably 30 to 40 years. But we don't necessarily want to say that we want to build a system that's at 20 million gallons, knowing that we're probably not going to reach that more than likely in our lifetime or maybe even our kids' lifetime. And there's always a balance there, and it's a real struggle with trying to get it right. And I'm not going to say there's science behind it, but some of it's also probably more common sense approach, and it's more financial perspective to say, well, should we really do that, knowing that our rates are going to increase for 20 years down the road where the system's probably not even going to be needed.
And to the wet well itself is not going to be the issue. The density essentially where you may have to expand other parts of the facility, right?
You're absolutely correct. The wet well itself may not be the issue. It's probably more than likely going to be the flare unit. That's the next thing we're working on. And that's to burn off some of the methane. And then also we're looking at a couple of other units to further separate the solids from the water. And those are some of the other things that we're doing that's going to actually allow us to reach that 10.1 million gallons, but also for efficiencies of the plant. So when we're hauling away sludge, it's drier and it's costing the existing ratepayer less money. Those are some of the efficiencies that we're looking at. So there's different ways of doing it. And at some point, I suspect the state of California, and there's no law in the books now, but putting on my tinfoil hat is the state will probably come out and say that cities are going to have to start going to tertiary treatment at some point. We do not have a tertiary plant at the city. At some point, I suspect the state's going to come out and say that, and that's going to have some major financial implications for the city, tens of millions of dollars to bring up our system. And at that point, that's probably when we come back to council and say, we have to kind of hit the reset button. The state has not done that, but you're starting to see more communities go to tertiary treatment because there's so many environmental benefits to it. But it's also expensive to do.
Thank you.
Thank you again, City Manager. At this time, I'll see if there's any member of the public wishing to make a comment. Chief, anybody? Come on, somebody, come on. My debut here, nobody's talking. All righty, so bring that back. Oh, any comments online?
We have none, Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay. I'll bring this back to council.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Montes, second from Councilmember Evans. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay, motion carries.
You want to pound your gavel just so that you can run.
Oh, yeah. All right. Right, moving on to item D3, Madam Clerk.
Airport Advisory Commission, AAC, Rules of Procedure.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Arnoldo Rodriguez for the record. This item is being brought back to council since our last meeting with updated rules of procedures for the Airport Advisory Committee. So this item was at the direction of council. I attempted to capture council's feedback from the last item. I cannot state with absolute 100% confidence I got it right. But if I didn't, I'm sure council will let me know. So some context here. At the last meeting, council directed staff to prepare an updated rules of procedure with a couple of goals. One of them is to ensure that we are getting quorums at the AAC and also to expand eligibility for members. And there was several items of discussion at the last meeting. Should it be do they have to be city residents? What's their aviation or aeronautical experience, or can they be county residents? I believe we captured that in the draft item. So again, the AAC is a 7-member advisory board. Members are currently appointed pursuant to the municipal code, which allows every council member to make an appointment, which is then made. That recommendation goes to the mayor, and then the mayor makes a recommendation to this council. I do want to highlight that the Airport Land Use Commission is different than the Airport Advisory Commission. The Airport Land Use Commission is a county board. It's overseen by state guidelines. And the Airport Land Use Commission It does review land use entitlements, for example, zoning and land use densities. The AAC is airport operations. The Airport Land Use Commission is land use exactly as it's in the title. Two distinct boards. The city does not oversee the Airport Land Use Commission. So again, a couple of challenges which we discussed about. And so a couple of the proposed revisions. So right now, advisory committee members are city residents. This would potentially modify it and under 5 conditions. So one, it can either be a city resident, and the city resident does not necessarily have to have aeronautical experience. That's at the discretion of the city council member that's making the appointment. There are no changes to that language whatsoever. That's exactly how it's been. For non-city residents, the language currently states, and this is not verbatim, but rather this is the 30,000 foot level overview, may be appointed by a council member if they are an airport leasee in good standing. That airport leasee would not necessarily have to be a city or county resident. We do have airport lessees that are potentially city of Merced or Merced County or Fresno. So again, if they have an active lease at the airport and in good standing, of course, they could in theory be appointed by this council. The other item is they could be a full-time employee at the airport of a leasee in good standing. There are about a dozen or so private hangars out there. Some of them are airport mechanics, and they're out there if they're full-time by our standards, 40 hours a week. Again, that employee does not necessarily have to be a city or county resident of Madera, but they're spending a lot of time at the airport. Line item 3, they are a licensed or retired pilot residing in Madera County. So if they're a pilot, they do not have a lease at the airport, but maybe they have a lot of aeronautic experience. More than likely, they would probably be an excellent candidate for the airport advisory committee. They're an active or retired FAA employee residing in Madera County. Again, not necessarily have an airplane at the airport or have a lease with the city, but they're there often, or they have experience, I should say. And then the last one would be an active or U.S. Armed Forces. And that should actually say, I apologize, it should say active or retired U.S. Armed Forces with aviation experience residing in Madera County. That's an all-inclusive because there are people that either have experience with aviation, they're not necessarily pilots, but they probably have a lot of experience. And again, that one is a little more open-ended, and that would be at the discretion of the city council. A few other items. The existing rules state that they're very specific on when quorums happen or when meeting times happen. I think it's the second Tuesday at 10 a.m. at the airport. Staff is recommending to council that that language be deleted, and that language simply state that the AAC shall determine when they meet. Not necessarily where they meet, but the time and place would be the airport because it's obvious. But in terms of times and dates, and then also members would automatically resign after 3 consecutive absences. There is no language where staff does not recommend that language be included, that the chair of the AAC has discretion or authority to remove members. If members are appointed by council, the obvious is that council members can remove them, but it should not be up to the AAC themselves. There's also language provided that the chair may not serve more than 2 consecutive years. And again, the proposed language clarifies that the AAC does not make land use recommendations. Again, that's the Airport Land Use Commission, not the AAC. There are no financial impacts because AAC members volunteer and they are not compensated. And so with that, staff does recommend that council adopt the resolution approving the revised AAC rules of procedure, but obviously it's up to the council's prerogative if you would like to make any changes. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, City Manager Rodriguez. At this time, I believe we have a question from Councilmember Montes.
Yeah, and I apologize. I didn't know that you guys had this conversation last meeting, right? So I wasn't here for that. But I did try to get up to speed on it. But just to clarify, so there's no changes to existing city residents. So they would not be required to have those. That just be for county residents, but they have to have some sort of tie to their local airport.
Exactly, exactly. Or in the alternative, they can be a non-city or Madera County resident if they're a leasee at the airport or if they're an employee of the airport. So correct. But in terms of existing members, there are 0 changes or modifications to existing members.
And I'm not necessarily advocating for this, but if a city resident knew nothing about airports or airplanes, they could still theoretically serve.
Absolutely.
That's my question. Thank you.
All right, we do have another question from Commissioner Zachariah.
And just for clarification on the 3 consecutive meetings, considering that they haven't had quorum in a long time and knowing that I believe there was only usually 2 members attending, is this going to be retro to say all those people who were not attending and so they couldn't make quorum, are they going to be disqualified immediately or is it going to be upon approval?
I did not go through the mental gymnastics of that, but I suspect it would be starting now unless council would want to retro it. I'm not too sure.
I'm not trying to
do that.
maybe look towards that, but I mean, it may be something to consider being that they haven't met quorum. So those people, I don't know if we have record of who has and hasn't been in attendance, then
Can we do
maybe
have record?
kind of obvious to some of the members to know that those people weren't interested in serving maybe. Again, I don't want to disqualify since we've already had a hard time making a quorum. But I just want a clarification to know that is it going forward? Is it going to be retro?
Yeah, as written right now, it would be moving forward, but council always has the prerogative to change it this evening if you would like. And I should add that council always has, every council member can always appoint someone new on the commission if they feel that that commissioner is not representing that specific council member. So you always have, you don't have to wait until the end of your term. Council can always make a change.
And then, sorry, just to finalize on it. So on the 3rd consecutive, is that going to be the recommendation from staff to the council member to remove that person or is it immediate removal?
It would be automatic how it's written.
Thank you. I just did want to clarify something before I get to Councilwoman Evans. You mentioned the council has the right to appoint. I believe that appointment falls under the mayor, right? I think we have
Correct.
a nomination to the mayor. Mayor then would come and appoint. This body would then approve the appointment made by the mayor. Councilwoman Evans.
Hey,
Gotcha.
you don't want to hit your gavel or anything?
Not right now. I'm waiting to the end.
Okay. Okay, no, I just wanted to say, now I think that we have kind of had a turnover and the fact that there are new members that will be joining. So I think we will be able to make our quorum. And also the fact of the retroactive, because you do have new members coming on, we wouldn't necessarily need to have a retroactive. We would start now and then progress on and go forward and then start the consecutive 3 if in the event that, there is absentees or whatever. So that's just my remark.
Thank you, Councilwoman Evans. I think the point that if I heard you correctly, Councilman Zachariah, was that they still haven't been showing up to quorum. So the retro would say, well, if there's no interest in you attending, then really, I mean, it serves no purpose for you to start over because it'll be 3 other meetings that you may not attend. So maybe making sure that we inform whomever's on that advisory, if they do desire to continue, this is something moving forward. But I do want to recognize that because I think it's important as well. Now that we do have this, we'll be able to make quorum again. And thank you for the additions that we added to the existing bylaws.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Rules of procedure.
Rules of procedure, thank you. That'll certainly open up that pool of folks that can certainly contribute to that airport advisory. And that's all I have. Yes.
So I got assaulted here.
Chief.
No, I know Councilwoman, he had made point about notifications and stuff. Being that we're including now a lot more of the airport individuals, is there going to be more postings or letters that would go out to those places? Considering that, again, there's probably a decent amount of people that are involved working or licensees or leasees that maybe we could, again, have that pool.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll send a letter out to every leasee and we'll hang something or post something inside of the air terminal there that's available to anyone. So we'll be sure that we'll send a letter out to every leasee, which hangars are probably, I'm going to speculate 80 something leasees in total out there. And so we'll be sure that we get each one of them a letter.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Do we have any other comments? If none, I'll move this out to the public. Do we have any members of the public wishing to make any comments?
We have none, Mayor Pro Tem.
All right. Chief? Okay, guess not. All right. This was a required action?
Yeah.
All right,
Yes.
Move to approve.
Second it.
all right.
Oh,
Oh, hello. Hold on,
Recognize.
hold on. Order. There'll be order. You okay there?
I'm gonna pry the wrap up. I don't know.
No, you punch me in the arm. I see it.
Get the scalpel again.
It's on video though.
I don't.
It is on video and they saw him hit me.
City Attorney, are we good to proceed?
Just trying to address the questions. We probably have one clarification for you, just to make things crystal clear.
I would love to take credit, but the council just saw this play out in action. So legal counsel is recommending language be added to item 1, B as in boy. And so that's on the first page. Currently it says appointment, and B as in boy currently reads, the city council may appoint non-city residents pursuant to section X of the Madera Municipal Code subject to the following qualifications. It is now recommended that council add the following language. In addition to the city residents, or I'm sorry, in addition to city residents, the council may also appoint. So there's a couple of little words there, some wordsmithing. I thought I had an A on this report, but obviously
wait, I'm
I just
sorry,
thought it'd
where-
be minus.
Sure. Report?
No, on the rules.
Did I miss it? Okay, on the rules.
It's an
Thank you.
attachment.
You said B1, right?
It would be 1, B as in boy,
Got it.
with the
A.
added language, in addition to city residents,
Got it.
the city council may also appoint.
Okay,
I move to approve with that correction to 1B. What was it? 1BA?
1B.
1B.
I'll
What
second.
city manager said.
Second.
okay, we do have a motion from Councilmember Montes, second from Councilmember Evans. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Moving on to item F.
Item F is council member reports, announcements, and future agenda items. This portion of the meeting is reserved for the mayor and council members to make brief reports on boards, committees, and other public agencies and at public events, to request updates, to initiate future agenda items, and to take action on matters initiated under this section of the agenda. Under this section, the council may take action only on items specifically agendized and which meet other requirements for action.
All right, so at this time, I'll ask if there's any members. I'll start off with Member Evans, Councilmember Evans.
Thank you so very much. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for my beautiful Yeti. Do the Vanna White right here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's beautiful. Thank you for that. Second off, I wanted to say that I attended the Veterans Day, which was at the courthouse. Very, very nice. Our mayor wasn't there, so she had to sit in for her or to stand in for her, Maddie from the CAP MC, and she presented her speech with that one. Also, I attended the Veterans Day celebration out at Tesoro Viejo. They had the pancake breakfast, which was excellent. And the fire department was there, sheriff department, and it was a beautiful morning. It was a little bit breezy, but it was nice. Thirdly, I went to the state of the county, and there we had our illustrious city manager who gave the talk that day, and he did quite well. There was a lot of information, and he just kind of that just kind of hit him early in the morning, I think it was, or late that night, that he was going to have to do the presentation, but he did a very good job. I also attended the Live Well. It was at the Madera Superintendent of Schools. And at that point in time, they spoke in reference to health. Um, the group from Pan Am performed the exercise there. They actually got up and had everyone to stand and try to exercise, which was difficult. But anyway, breakfast was great. Speaker was awesome. Chet, I forget his last name, but there was like a little debate session, and that was there. Also, I want to advise and remind those on council that on November the 25th, that at the Muslim temple over on Avenue 26, they're going to be having a food giveaway. So for anyone that knows of anyone that may very well need anything, and at this point in time right now, there are a lot of people that need help, that need assistance. So it starts at 9 o'clock in the morning and it continues until everything is gone. So they were asking for volunteers if anyone from council or anyone would like to come out and help. But anyway, from me to everyone's family, yeah, I said the 25th. Mallet, please, Mallet. But anyway, happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and don't eat too much. So God bless. And I pass the baton.
Thank you, Councilwoman Evans. Councilmember Zachariah?
I don't have much to report. I do see, as on all those looking around, I know we've attended a couple meetings with the updates to these cameras. I don't know if it's something that can be looked at. Poor Councilwoman Evans wasn't even on camera during her little talk there. So I don't know if it's something we can look at. I mean, I know there's been a few times now where speakers are not even on camera. It's kind of, looks like it's looking at the sky. But regardless, nothing really to report. I was able to attend the meeting as well for the Economic Development Committee or Council for the city. I think Arnaldo, you did a great job. I know it's tough to fill in and make some of those presentations shine, but you did good. And I think it helps make the city look great when we can attend those things. So other than that, nothing else to report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Zachariah. Councilmember Montes?
Yeah, I had the privilege of attending the Madera County Food Bank food drive. They increased, I want to say, their vouchers by a couple hundred. And the need was great. There's a lot of people out there. It was drizzling. It was wet. It wasn't that cold, but and everybody was just out there, having a blast and trying to get back to the community. So that was a very great event. And I really thank the food bank for putting that on and everybody who donated either items or their time. Also want to express my condolences to the Perez family. Former mayor and council member Perez was always an advocate, like even recently reaching out and asking if, somebody that needed help that had reached out to him, if we could do something. He would reach out to me from time to time, just letting me know about things, or even just inviting me to events and letting me know about things. So the community has really lost a great advocate for everyone. And he hasn't, I mean, he hasn't been here elected for a while, and he still was just out there in the community all the time. So condolences to the family and a great loss for the community. Those are my comments.
Thank you, Councilmember Montes. Councilmember Mejia?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Rodriguez. I would like to reiterate my condolences, even though I did not have the pleasure to meet our former mayor. I know how challenging it could be to do public services, so I thank him, his family. And again, my condolences to the Perez family. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to attend the final California Connects regional convening that was held in Fresno. I was happy to see a lot of familiar faces, local nonprofits that were there. This was hosted by the Office of Community Partnerships and Strategic Communications, and it was a great exchange of resources and creating partnerships. I was very happy to be there on behalf of our city of Madera. Thank you to the Madera Police Department. I know that our Lieutenant Gonzalez is spearheading the Mad Grinch, and I am very happy to see the enthusiastic participation. So you're going to be hearing more about that in the coming week as we're getting ready for the upcoming Christmas festivities. And lastly, I would like to say happy birthday to Mr. Avery Mejia Macias, who is turning 5 years old today. My little nephew has been an enthusiastic participant in our Old Timers Day parade float and parades in the past, and I know he's looking forward to the Christmas parade as well. So happy birthday, Avery. And with that, I conclude my report. Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you, Councilwoman Mejia. Councilmember Villegas.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Last Friday, the 14, me and Ronaldo and Anita went to Stockton to the ribbon cutting for the new name to the Amtrak California. Now it's the Gold Runner. New color, and it's owned by Caltrans, I believe. Or whatever it is. Anyway, so it's a chain name. And last Saturday, I was in the Nishimoto Elementary School. Esmeralda Soria was giving the turkeys and all that stuff to go with the. I was there helping them out for at least a couple hours. So, and that was a great event too for the community. And that's all my report.
Thank you. Councilmember Villegas, I have a couple of things that I want to report out. Earlier this month, I completed my 5th and final session for the Well Untapped Fellowship. Well represents water education for Latino leaders. Again, that's not specifically for Latino leaders, but it's for any leaders that serve a population of Latinos. This is a great program that taught me a lot about water policy, hydrology, and more importantly, advocating for water policies within our community, especially in the Central Valley. So this was held at Pico Rivera, where I had my graduation. I'm now an official WELO, and I joined my esteemed colleague here, also as a WELO, Councilwoman Mejia. I look forward to hopefully my colleagues to also take on that cohort or that fellowship, because it does give us a lot of insight of water. It's not so much about Madera water, but it's water in California in general. And it's everything water, which was great. So I also had an opportunity to attend the Self-Help Counties conference that was held in San Francisco. This was in part of the MCTC. Again, this is a conference that's geared towards the self-help counties that have tax measures, kind of like our county. There's 25 counties in the state, and they all get together to see what's going on, especially with transportation, housing needs. It looks like the topics of conversation are a lot of laws around housing elements, right? So how we build our housing elements, with infrastructure, transportation. Obviously, when you have multimodal transportation means, then there's some exemptions that CEQA may do. Again, something that we may want to look into. Again, that was to the self-help counties. I also participated in the food bank drive. Again, thanks to Councilmember Montes for inviting me and reminding me that this is such a great event to do, because not only do you volunteer, it's very purposeful. My kids, again, have been doing it for many years. We skipped a couple of years, but it was great to reconnect. I hope to do it again here in December. I think we have another one. And if you can share that date with us too, Councilmember Montes, I'd appreciate that. Last but not least, I had an opportunity to attend the golf course advisory alongside Director Bear. Again, I think the advisory is moving forward in providing maybe a consultant to go out and give us a scope of what's really needed out there in the golf course as far as the irrigation system. That at some point will be brought back to council so that they then can decide what kind of appetite they have to wanting to make any repairs, if any, to that course. But again, that advisory will bring that in the later future. And again, my condolences to the Perez family. I know that Mr. Perez was an avid golfer. I had an opportunity to serve with him, not in the Moores board for a short stint before I knew that it was a conflict of interest for us. So we had to move out. but he was such an advocate, not only for public housing, but even for the community. So again, my condolences go out to him and the family. I'd like to drag this out just a bit more, but I think we're going to call it a wrap. We have nothing for closed session, but we do have future meeting dates. Our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. And again, Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. With that, that's all I have. I now adjourn this meeting.